Hey, what's up? We have a new chapter of Dr. Stone. This is 127, and it's loading, and it's a totally blank white page. And finally, here it is. I guess because it has a color opening page, it took a little while longer to load. So the three-dimensional battle plan has commenced. So far, it seems like everything is going entirely to Senkyu's expectations, except we ended the previous chapter, very ominously, that the communications devices, even though they could hardly be really understood by the islanders, have nevertheless been hacked by them, so to speak, by taking the transmitter that Kohaku had from her petrified statue. They're able to figure out their intent to snag the petrification weapon midair. And thus, I'm pretty sure Kirisame here is throwing out some sort of decoy, some sort of alternative thing to disable the drone, to take out their counterattack. And probably still has the true petrification weapon in reserve. Once the drone is all tangled up, it's GG no re, everyone just gets petrified. So things have suddenly started looking very, very bad for our Kingdom of Science. So yeah, I don't know. There's a really good comment on the last chapter that I encourage you to check out that made some story speculations. There's a whole lot of different ways that this story could go now, a whole lot of different cards still in the hands of both the Island Warriors and the Kingdom of Science. But it's kind of unclear how they can recover from like Senkyu and the rest of the fighting forces, the Hooded Warriors, plus anyone else caught in the crossfire from getting petrified. Like once that happens, they really have no recourse. So we'll find out. Let's see. Will the drone pull it off? This title page still feels quite triumphant. It still feels kind of like these characters, at least, are expecting this all to work, so why wouldn't it kind of carry this sense of, we've done it, all of this planning has been for this, and yet, I don't know, it seems quite dismaying. We have a really cool title page here. It almost has sort of a Pikmin feel, especially Kaisuke in the back. Really, Olimar vibes I'm getting from him. And maybe it's the little flower growing near there off Ginro Lita's helmet that kind of gives him that Pikmin feeling too. But what a cool setting. I wonder if we're going to get this far. I wonder if by the end of Dr. Stone they'll have advanced the Stone World back into space exploration, to the past, which was the present, and now into the future. I don't know. Oh, it's a two-pager, of course. You see everybody, the whole cast. Some pretty awesome mechs, and then of course the future version of their sailing ship Perseus. And this chapter is called Medusa and Perseus. Medusa, of course, referring to the petrification weapon, and Perseus being the Greek hero that took down Medusa, or was Hercules, or whatever Hercules was actually called, the one that took down Medusa. I don't know. Whatever. He's stalling, Rusu. There's no time to lose. But the turn. I've made a fatal oversight. My captain's instincts are screaming. Someone's got the drop on us. Okay. Senkyu as well. Something feels off. The way that Kirisame is deploying the petrification weapon, somehow they can sense. This is not actually the device. And Senkyu, for a second, feels the grip of the adversary of this arc. It's right about time for you to throw it and win this, Kirisame. I'll gather way back. Yeah. Friend Mose might be communicating with the invaders, so use this to test him. So this is all kind of how we expected it to go, once we knew that they had made this deception. Something feels off, but science doesn't rely on feelings. Do some quick calculations since I've only got a second or two. Quick maths. Okay. Kirisame's throw should come at 90 kilometers an hour and at 60 degrees. that trajectory, no matter where it activates. Oh my gosh. All right, well, he does a lot of calculations here. This is some insane maths to be doing in only a couple seconds, but whatever. You know, he's got cheat code level intelligence. That's totally fine. That trajectory, no matter where it activates, our group won't be the only one in the light's radius. Always accurate Kirisame missed. Not a chance. Press to start the supposed petrification device was a decoy. Whoa, he's figured it out. He's figured it out. All right. So they didn't waste the drone. They didn't deploy their secret weapon too soon. But it was almost very, very, very bad for them. They almost picked up this useless hunk of metal. Oh, and then the second petrification weapon coming out. Was you wouldn't really betray the master, right? Ha. So Mose realizes in an instant that she's used a decoy device. But she can't, he has to like feign innocence. He has to feign like he's this is all kind of according to his plan as well. To make it seem like I wasn't part of this scheme. Slaughter you and your pals. After all, that was always the plan. Senki's order went against all expectations and would have seemed nonsensical. All came together instantly. What got them through this dire, unexpected crisis was their boundless faith in Senki's scientific judgment. Okay, so they all pile into the lab. The lab takes off. Taiju's driving. He seems to love it. Even though their plan was just foiled and they're no closer to having the petrification weapon than they were before. And we make it into the lab. This thing's speeding enough to get us to safety. The perfect chance. Oh, so now they can deploy this weapon. Because as long as they can kind of get this intimidation factor on Mose, then they can kind of nullify the chance that he'll just insta-slaughter them as soon as they've obtained the petrification weapon. Right? Like, it's always been this very delicate balance where I wasn't quite sure that they had accounted for this, that Mose wouldn't give them a chance to even fire the gun once. He would already have a couple heads lopped clean off. So it's better to kind of do your show of power well in advance of the situation and kind of try to create this feeling that anyone could have a gun. The gun could be positioned anywhere. You could die before you even realize it. So you'd best not mess with us. Okay, so Yo draws the pistol. I don't know if he's planning on actually shooting Maz or just shooting something such that Maz understands the power of the gun. Oh, what? Whoa. Whoa. Okay. I thought there might be a potential of this. Something about the look Magma had before. I felt like he was still big scheming. Dude, the panel at the top of this page is just absolutely flawless. I can't praise too highly the art direction on everyone's reactions here. So Magma has gotten the pistol. He's run off with the gun. Who knows what the heck he's capable of with this thing. Gun caught him, but was quickly subdued. As Magma is physically superior in every way, shape, and form, and now has a gun. You figure out what I'm really after, huh? I'll take home all the glory and win the chief's throne for myself. People love your endless, boring, sneaky schemes, but since I've got this mighty weapon, all I gotta do is find their boss, that crusty old Ibarra guy, and blast him. Then we win. Ooh, but what do they notice while they're up here? The second half of this title, Medusa and Perseus. Their ship is moving away? Our ship. Perseus is up and moving. They destroyed it, so I was wondering why it was just sitting there. I've been studying how to make it move. So they've managed to rig up the sails. They worked that one out, and then they just have tons and tons of oars. Right now, I commandeer the Perseus. Ooh. Get on that boat if you don't want to die. They're evacuating all of the islanders onto the boat so they can mass petrify the entire island and thus remove any chances that the infiltrators will still become a threat. Okay, that's pretty good. You gotta hand it to Ibarra. He comes up with some pretty powerful solutions to what seems like insurmountable odds. Because basically, what was he dealing with? People with much superior technology who have infiltrated and possibly turned some of his strongest warriors against him, also packing some strong warriors themselves. They understand the petrification technology. They're aiming for it directly in ways that he can't even begin to comprehend. And yet he fakes them out. The fake petrification weapon. Brilliant. And then, you know, it's like, well, who knows where they could be hiding? It doesn't matter. We'll just petrify the whole island. Seems to be the plan. Every village on the island, they're herding them onto the ship. Yes, with nowhere to run, yeah. Bring onto the enormous boat for inspection, since we don't know where the island. Yeah, we'll simply blast the whole island with the petrification light. Nice. A very ominous image to presumably close off the chapter here. Ah, but thank you, of course, has the counter technique already. It's the opposite. This pinches the perfect chance. You can have everything all at once. The whole enemy kingdom and their petrification machine too. So it's not clear that Ibarra knows that the fake out wasn't successful, right? Like, there's no way he could understand the existence of the drone and their plan on using the drone to snag it. It's more that he just knows they were going to do something to nullify and probably commandeer the petrification weapon. And since he used the fake out weapon, I think it's maybe reasonable to think that he had already exhausted their ability to do that. So now, if we know they're petrifying the whole weapon, then they obviously have to deploy the petrification weapon again. And they have to do so in a way that's a little more predictable, like it's going to be kind of centered within the island, yet deployed somewhere from somewhere such that the deployer will be safe, presumably, unless Ibarra is fine with just sacrificing someone. So probably thrown from the Perseus in some degree. I don't know. But Sankyu sure seems confident. Be a big help when our resident meathead Magma takes that gun, scientific weapon still unknown to these enemies, and start causing trouble like the idiot he is. Ha! You've got no business looking so cool! He's just gonna start shooting random blah, 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 at this boat that's like way out there with the homemade gun of science, which shoots, you know, like the Clob in GoldenEye 007 for the N64. If you guys remember the Clob. Just, oh, this is so absurd. He really has no business looking that cool. But yeah, it's sure going to put some fear into the Islanders' hearts if they start seeing holes pop up in the hull and the sails and hear the loud bang from the shore. So maybe they activate the petrification device sooner than later, more hastily than before. I see there's a Dr. Stone spin-off here, looking at Senkyu's pseudo-father and his adventures in space. We might read that as well if people are interested. Looks like it could be good. But for now, that's it for the mainline series. Let's look forward to next week. This could have gone so much worse. But I guess, you know, if they were successful in screwing up the drone, then we'd either have to have another long arc of making the drone, or at least like a lot of effort put into making the drone, which wouldn't really be that triumphant or exciting because they're just making another drone. And so I feel like the drone still has to have its moment of triumph to kind of pay off how much it was built up and hyped up this arc. So I'm not too surprised that they were able to dodge this trap, especially with Senkyu's quick, fast calculations showing that the throw she was making was not really feasible if it was the true weapon. Yeah, all that stuff was pretty cool. But the battle is reset. They've returned to neutral. New tactics being applied. And a gun in the hand of a maniac. Crazy arc. Let's look forward to more.